Welcome to day 3 of our free 18-day NEET PG high-yield rapid revision crash course. I'm AI, your competitive exam expert, brought to you by Mohammad Nadeem Abbasi. Listen, Biochemistry से डरने की बिल्कुल ज़रूरत नहीं है. आज हम सारी enzyme deficiencies और inborn errors of metabolism को direct, short tricks के साथ memorize करेंगे. It's going to be fast, it's going to be high yield, so let's dive in, and hey, don't forget to subscribe. All right, here is our roadmap for today's session. We're hitting glycogen storage disease tricks, then amino acid inborn errors, followed by some high-yield clinical pearls, and wrapping it all up with a rapid revision final recap. Let's get right to it. Okay, let's dive into our first section, glycogen storage disease tricks. Now, as we go through these, I want you to look closely at the color coding on your screen. Always keep your eyes locked on the cyan text for the disease name and the amber text for the defective enzyme, okay? First up, we've got von Guericke disease. The missing enzyme here, glucose 6-phosphatase. And because the liver literally can't release free glucose into the blood, the absolute classic presentation you are going to see in an exam question is severe fasting hypoglycemia. Lock that in. So, let's test your active recall. The NEET PG exam is all about pressure, right? So, fire off the answer in your head right now. Which glycogen storage disease results in a straight-to-the-point, unbranched glycogen chain that eventually causes fatal cirrhosis? Any guesses? Boom, it's Anderson disease. Check out that neon green mnemonic on the screen. Anderson-Cooper gets straight to the point. You see, if you lack the branching enzyme, your body just creates one long, toxic, straight compound of glycogen. It just cannot fit in the liver properly, which triggers massive inflammation and ultimately cirrhosis. So, never forget, Anderson equals a straight line, which means a branching enzyme defect. Moving on, we have Pompe disease. Now, this one's unique because it's a defect in the lysosomal debranching enzyme. The glycogen specifically builds up inside the lysosomes of muscle cells, and particularly in the heart. To remember this, just use the mnemonic linking the ancient city of Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius erupting to the heart literally blowing up. Cardiomegaly. Pompeii equals heart. Simple, right? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how examiners love to try and trick you by mixing up these two closely related diseases. McArdle's disease is a muscle phosphorylase defect. Because the muscle can't break down glycogen for energy, the patient gets severe muscle cramps on exertion. Compare that to Her's disease, which is a hepatic or liver phosphorylase defect. The liver's whole job is to maintain your baseline blood sugar, so a defect here causes fasting hypoglycemia. Just remember the letters. McArdle's is muscle, Her's is hepatic. All right, moving right along to section 2, amino acid inborn errors. Okay, picture this classic clinical vignette. You've got a patient presenting with a mousy body odor, eczema, and intellectual disability. What is the specific enzyme deficiency here? Trigger your response right now. What is it? It's phenylketonuria, or PKU, and the defective enzyme is phenylalanine hydroxylase. Take a look at the neon green mnemonic, phenylalanine kills understanding. This ties the disease directly to its most devastating complication, which is intellectual disability if it's left untreated. And that mousy odor in the vignette, that is your absolute dead giveaway for PKU. Before we hit the next disease, I want you to lock this clinical buzzword flashcard into your brain, ochronosis. This is the deposition of oxidized homogenesic acid in cartilage and connective tissues. If you're reading a question and you see ochronosis or dark pigmentation in the cartilage of the ear or the eye, you are absolutely dealing with our next highly tested disease. And that disease is alkaptonuria. The defective enzyme here is homogentisate oxidase. Remember that ochronosis we just defined? Well, that oxidized acid builds up in the joints, causing severe knee pain. The other massive red flag for this disease is urine that literally turns black upon standing or when it's exposed to air. Black urine plus joint pain, that equals alkaptonuria every time. So the crucial point here really is pattern recognition. For maple syrup urine disease, or MSUD, the trigger is literally right there in the name. The infant's urine will have a distinct, sweet maple syrup odor. This is caused by a defective breakdown of branched-chain amino acids, specifically due to a deficiency in branched-chain alpha-keto acid dehydrogenases. Just spot the odor, mark the enzyme, and move on. Section 3, high-yield clinical pearls. Let's get into it. Let's pivot for a second from specific diseases to some broader concepts. Examiners love to trap you with things that seem super complicated but are actually incredibly simple. Enzyme kinetics is a classic area where students lose easy marks just by overthinking it. Look at the exact differences right here. In competitive inhibition, the Km increases, but Vmax stays the same. In non-competitive inhibition, Vmax decreases, but Km stays the same. Trying to memorize those graphs can be super stressful during the actual exam. So instead, I want you to use this neon green memory hack, co-nu unco. That is your instant cheat code. Competitive increases the nu or numerator, which is Km, while non-competitive decreases the co or constant, which is Vmax. Literally just scribble co-nu unco on your scratch pad, and you will instantly solve any enzyme kinetics MCQ without even a second thought. All right, let's fire off another rapid question based on a frequently repeated previous year question. Molecular biology is huge right now, guys. Which blotting technique is specifically used to detect DNA molecules? The answer is the Southern blot. And here is exactly how you map them all out perfectly under pressure. Use the mnemonic SNOW drop. You just write SNOW on top and DROP right below it. S matches with D, meaning Southern detects DNA. And matches with R, so Northern detects RNA. The O's, they mean nothing. And W matches with P, Western detects protein. SNOW drop. It's simple, it's perfect, and it is infallible. And this brilliantly illustrates our final vital clinical buzzword before we hit the summary tables, Tay-Sachs disease. It's caused by a deficiency in hexosaminase A, but the absolute golden buzzword, the thing you must scan for in the clinical vignette, is a cherry red spot on the macula. You see that? You know exactly what you're dealing with. Section 4, Rapid Revision, Final Recap. This is it. We have reached the climax of today's crash course. Get your screenshot fingers ready, focus your eyes, and let's rapidly scan and absorb these final, ultimate cheat sheets. Here is a crisp, comparative block of the absolute most tested rate-limiting enzymes. You literally must know these cold. Glycolysis? That's phosphofructokinase 1. The TCA cycle? Isocitrate dehydrogenase. Cholesterol synthesis is driven by HMG-CoA reductase. For the urea cycle, it's carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1. And heme synthesis relies on ALS synthase. Seriously, burn this table into your retina. And here is another one, your ultimate high-contrast cheat sheet for 3 more vital inborn errors. Classic galactosemia is a galactose-1-phosphate uridyl transferase defect, so look for cataracts and hepatomegaly. Hereditary fructose intolerance is an aldolase B defect. You'll see hypoglycemia, specifically after fruit or juice intake. And Gaucher disease is a glucose cerebrosidase deficiency, classically presenting with massive hepatosplenomegaly. Grab a screenshot of this right now. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative clinical scenario. A 5-month-old baby screams in pain after drinking juice and is found to have hypoglycemia. What is the likely enzyme defect? Think about what we literally just covered on the previous slide. Drop your answers in the comments below, and hey, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss day 4 of our rapid revision crash course. Keep studying smart, and I'll see you next time.
For every single biochemistry MCQ you face, follow this strict step-by-step procedure to make sure you conquer the question well under that 60-second limit. Spend your first 15 seconds just reading and truly understanding the core of the vignette. Then, spend the next 20 seconds applying your cheat codes and eliminating those distractor options. Finally, take your last 10 seconds to double-check and securely mark your answer. Stick to this rhythm, and you'll be golden.